Security. And here's what our commitment to you is. This is kind of hard to see, sorry. One is we want to identify areas we can free up money for future goals and dreams. We want to help you establish the priorities and wealth building objectives, and then help you transform that blueprint into reality. Okay? So this is your financial house. If you can see here, the first thing we need to do is set up your foundation. And what your foundation is protection management. Now, I'd actually have a highlighter and highlight this stuff, some of this. I'd say the first thing we want to do with protection management is provide for immediate cash needs, so I'd highlight that, and long-term income protection in the case you guys were to die prematurely. Okay? So that's your life insurance. That's what we'll get started tonight. Okay? I'm just assumptive. That's what we'll get started tonight. Okay? Also, we're going to provide other protections such as emergency fund, legal protection, auto and homeowners insurance, whatever we can do there to help with your foundation too, right? Protection, okay? Emergency fund's a big one. Step 2 is debt management. When I establish a game plan to help you become debt-free as soon as possible. All right? Step 3, savings management. Save enough for a secure and comfortable retirement, any education for the kids, begin saving for other future goals and dreams. And the 4th priority is just making sure you're making enough income, because if you're not making enough income, guess what? You'd have to reduce your goals and dreams or not hit them, or make extra income. We'll talk about that too, okay? Any questions, John and Mary? So if we can establish a wealth building strategies for you, is there any reason you wouldn't implement and follow them? Okay? So here's your life insurance results. This is the first thing we're going to look at, okay? Is we already talked about this. You have $517,000 on you, Cabot, $331,000 on you, Amanda. Where you stand now, just as based on the assumption using this analysis, you do not have enough life insurance to meet your survivor's needs, right? We talked about this last time. Right now, you don't have hardly any. Here's what we're going to do for you. We can property protect you for $96 a month. Okay, and we'll get that started tonight. Okay? Any questions? By the way, if they have kids, you're going to add a child rider on there, right? By the way, putting together an F&A on the Turbo apps takes about 10 minutes. 15 minutes, piece of cake. Okay? So we'll get that started in just a second. These are all the features and benefits we have. I just want to make sure you guys understand our life insurance companies carry a total face amount of more than $656 billion. We pay an average of 2.6 million claims every day. I'd highlight that. We're the #1 term insurer in North America. A+ rated by AM Best. Only 15% of life insurance companies can even have that claim. We have guaranteed insurability at age 95. We have affordable renewal rates. If you compare us with anybody else in our area ever, we will smash everybody's renewal rates. We're going to be there for you when you need us. Chances are you're probably not going to die in the next 20, 30 years. You're probably going to die after that, yes or no? Yes. Well, you want our coverage because you're going to be able to keep our coverage beyond that time when you're actually going to die. But we're there for you before then, too, if it happens. Right? Okay? Basically, I just tell people, I say, because what do the whole life guys say? Term insurance, you never get anything for it. I say, our policies, we're going to pay out. We're going to pay out eventually. You have $500,000 and you die, we're eventually going to pay out. If you die in 40 years, we'll pay out in 40 years. You just got to keep your policy in place. You're eventually going to get your money out of ours, as long as you keep it in place. Because guaranteed insurability, right? Increasing benefit rider, you can increase your coverage 10% per year, which means you'll double your coverage in 10 years automatically without health qualifying. So just want to make sure you guys know when we do your life insurance, it's the best in the industry. Okay? We also looked at your retirement results. Okay, so this just shows your financial independence numbers, 2.1 million. Okay, that's giving you $5,000 a month in today's dollars and retiring at the age of 50. I'm sorry, I put age 40 for these guys, age 40. Okay, so these guys have big goals. All right, they're younger, right? And that's okay, right? A lot of people are going to be 55, 60, 65. These guys have big goals, right? They got to save $5,500 a month to hit that goal. I said, well, that's just insane. Well, if you were making 20 grand a month, you could save 6 grand. I can show you a bit of my business, right? Yeah. Now, in a lot of cases, it might be, their shortfalls maybe, what, 1,000? Whatever, right? Okay? So, you have the 3 fundamental accounts here. I'd say, now look, here's what we teach you guys to have 3 fundamental accounts, and this is where I'd actually draw out, in fact, I'll just draw on this here. I'd say, look, so let's say your guys' income right now is $4,000 a month, okay? Now here's what we would recommend. You have an emergency fund, which is purchases for every 0 to 2 years. You have 3 months of income, so your goal is to have $12,000 in that account. Okay? Short-term account is 6 months of income. We're going to use this. I read all that stuff, car, that kind of stuff, right? By the way, this is going to be in a money market account. So you're not going to get rich on this account, but it's liquid money. You can get it when you need it, okay? What's a money market? It's like a savings account. Short-term account, this is going to be, want 6 months of income here, so your goal here is to have $24,000 of income saved in that. This is what you're going to use for like a car. You can pay cash for cars, stuff like that. We use the Invesco Equity and Income Fund. I write that out. And then your wealth building account is your financial independence number. This is your stuff you're going to use, you know, for your retirement. Okay, that's where your FIN number comes into play. Okay, so we'll get that stuff started as well. Okay, and so you guys have any questions so far? No. Okay, so then I go to this next page. This page is very important. This is where you recruit them. Now look, you guys have a shortfall. Most people's shortfall isn't going to be this big, but it's going to be probably $1,500 a month on average from the ones I've done anyway. You guys about the same. So let's say you guys have a shortfall of $1,500 a month right now. Okay? Now you guys have, here's your options. You can sacrifice more of your time and energy at a second job that isn't likely to pay you what you're worth, right? You can cut back on even more monthly expenses. Anything else you guys can cut back on? I already got rid of the satellite TV, right? You can dip into education or retirement to pay bills, or you can make more money by getting a significant pay raise or doing something in addition to or instead of your current career. What would you guys rather do? If I could show you guys how to make that extra $1,500 a month working a couple nights a week in our company, a night or 2 a week, would that interest you? Okay, we'll talk about that real serious here in just a second, okay? We'll get you started in our business as well. Okay, great. So let's get you started. See if we can qualify you for your insurance coverage. And so I get out there, I say, grab driver's licenses for me, get those, right? And as we're doing that, if they're ready to get started in the business, I'd also do their IBA, you know, like same time with it. Life insurance, IBA, get it all going. Okay? That's how I do Careback. But you see how assumptive I am? Mm-hmm. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get your insurance started first. You grab your driver's licenses for me, and they just do it. It's like when you go to the doctor, and the doctor diagnoses you with whatever you have, and then gives you a prescription. Does the doctor go, so would you like to do this prescription? The doctor just says, here's your prescription, go pick it up, okay? All right. If you had cancer, so if you need to get you in whatever, right, chemotherapy or whatever, right? Whatever your treatment needs to be. I mean, you might get a couple different opinions, but, right? Yeah.
What do you do what do you specifically do if you sit down with a client that has, one of their concerns they have is their debt? So at that point, you just take their debt information, because would that be part of your, I would assume that would be part of your financial analysis too, because they might want something like a Freedom Financial or a Debt Watch or whatever. So you would just, case by case?
What do you mean?
Like if somebody sit down with me and my wife, we have tons of debt, we want to get out of debt too, that's one thing.
Yeah, I mean, of course, if you got a bunch of credit cards, we're going to call Freedom Financial. Yes, yes. I mean, what if someone says, I want to pay all my savings to my debt, all that extra money to my debt? You might say, here's what I would recommend. I'd say, I would do both. Because you got to get out, remember that back to the basics brochure. There's a debt cycle and a cash cycle. The first step is getting your 3 fundamental accounts set up. Then you work on the debt. Otherwise, you're going to keep in debt forever. So you get the 3 fundamental accounts going while you're paying off your debt. Because let's say it takes you 10 years to pay off your debt, if you're going to pay all extra debt, and you don't start investing for 10 years, you can't make up that 10-year difference with compound interest.
Well, and as soon as there's an emergency, you're
in your credit card again. So the first step is to set up 3 fundamental accounts. Then you work on the debt. Kind of backwards, I know, but it's kind of, because the house, they actually need to change the house. The house, they need to go 3 fundamental accounts first and then put the debt above that, honestly. But yes, you would call Freedom Financial in those cases. How have you guys been? Like, the people I've been meeting with a lot of times don't have a lot of debt. I mean, they got maybe a student loan.
Now, a lot of the clients I sit down with, they have debt, they just don't pay on it anymore. They're like just giving up. I just don't pay my credit card.
So they're good options for Freedom Financial if they got credit card debt.
Right.
I don't know what it is, but it's kind of weird. I haven't met with a lot of people with a lot of credit card debt, student loan debt, mortgage debt, car loans. Yeah. But I hardly ever meet a lot of people with a lot of credit card debt in this area for some reason. I don't know if you guys have had different experiences, but I've been to quite a few appointments that I haven't ran into that. Does that make sense to you guys? You guys feel okay about that? Doing a carryback now? Because that's when you got to close everything up. And that's where if there's some objections, you got to overcome those objections, right? And you might have to go back and reteach them the importance of life insurance again. How many of you feel pretty confident right now about the toaster thing and the auto insurance versus, you guys feel good about that? Do you feel like you can, do you believe it? Do you believe it in here? Because you really, you're going to meet with a lot of people, most people that are already paycheck to paycheck or even worse. And they still need life insurance. And you still gotta close a policy with them. Because if they die, they think it's bad now, what if they don't come home tomorrow? That's where I think you share that story that Richard brought up, right? That you know, what if you had a son-in-law and he just left one day?